Tokyo has been focusing on what's happening in Myanmar under its new government. For almost half a century, the country had been ruled by governments under the thumb of the military.
The army dealt harshly with students and others who joined the pro-democracy movement. Some of them fled the country. Now they are beginning to return home. NHK's Masashi Yamaguchi has more.
At the end of March, Myanmar's new president and his cabinet ministers were sworn in. 52-year-old Cho Cho-so watched the ceremony on the news in Japan. He has been living in exile in Japan for 25 years.
嬉しいっていうそういう気持ち、国民みんなの勝利かなと思いますね。
In 1988, he participated in pro-democracy demonstrations in Myanmar. The protesters came under attack by soldiers sent by the military government. Several thousand people reportedly were killed. Seeing his friends get arrested one after another, Cho Cho-so fled to Japan in 1991 as an exile.
これ一筋で日本に来ました。
Cho Cho-so ran a Burmese restaurant in Tokyo. He had thought he would never be able to return to his native country. But ahead of the historic government changeover, he made up his mind to go back. He is hoping to get involved in efforts to rebuild his country. Just before the new administration took office, Cho Cho-so flew to Myanmar. It was the first time in a quarter century he'd set foot in his own country.
暑さ。So 匂い。And this is Burma. That's what I have been waiting for to come back to Burma. It takes nearly 25 years, but I'm very satisfied and happy.
But his joy didn't last long. He saw a Myanmar that had changed little. He realized that his long-held dream of building a new Myanmar will take time to fulfill. As he traveled through the city, he saw people jostling in front of elevators without forming lines. It was a picture of confusion.
もしここでスタッフが2列に並んでください、みんな聞かないと思います。こういう部分僕は変わりたいです。日本ではそれは普通でしょ。ここは普通じゃないですから。そういうことを、だから普通のことを僕は教えたい。
At his alma mater, the University of Yangon, he was reminded again that his country is lagging behind. The military government partially closed the highest institution of learning, saying it was the base of pro-democracy movement.
軍事政権が教育のことを大切にしてない、あまり考えてないという意味だよ。
Now he wants to open a school of his own to give children a good education. He sees his mother-in-law's garage as a potential schoolhouse. He is hoping to set up a school to teach what he learned in Japan, such as the importance of social order and manners.
僕らは社会を変わりたい。だから子どもたちのために、若い人にチャンスを与えるようにさまざ環境を作らない。それは僕らの、仕事か僕らに責任があるとはそう思ってます。
The military government did little to improve infrastructure during its long rule. Other returnees are focusing on this area. Town Line returned to Myanmar 2 years ago after 15 years in Japan. He joined the political party of Aung San Suu Kyi, the National League for Democracy. He's helping dig wells in farming areas. Many villages lack access to running water. Some people rely on rainwater they collect in pots. Town Line wants to change that. In Japan, he never once saw people have trouble getting water. He wanted to change the situation in his country somehow.
I remind myself every day that I have to use the experiences I gained in Japan and do what I can so Myanmar will change.
Myanmar is transforming itself after years of military rule. Those who once fled are coming back to the country they remember, and they want to help build it anew. Masashi Yamaguchi, NHK World, Yangon.
We're joined by Cho So in the studio. In 1998, he was granted refugee status in Japan, and he used Japan as a base to support the move towards democracy in Myanmar. Thank you for coming. So I understand that many people who fled Myanmar came to Japan. About how many came and what are they doing now?
Over 10,000 people from Myanmar living in Japan now. So, about a few hundred people was granted as a refugee status in here. So some of the political activists returned to Burma, and some cannot had a chance to back to Myanmar, like me, just recently. Some people marriage and kids and the health reason they cannot go back to Myanmar or Burma. Now.
Right. Well, you call your country with Burma. Well, we use the word Myanmar, but anyway, let's move on. You were saying that you focus energy in the field of education back home. Do you think that your experience of staying in Japan would contribute to that ambition that you have now?
Yeah. So to establish a democratic country, the education is the very important rules. So because we must have the human resources. So I think the education is a key factor. So in Burma, there are so many children cannot go to school, and also they drop out from the school. So I have one of the best experience in Japan is what I have learned is the school lunch system. So it makes the kids to be have good nutrition enough for them. So I think it's the one of the good things to work for the Burma, and also I'm intend to focus on education, but also intend to work in politics.
Looking back to the years that you spent in Japan, well, it's 25 years. It's very long. Do you sometimes feel that, or do you often feel probably that you lost a lot of time, your precious youth in this country?
Yes. So we used to live in Rangoon, the big house, all of our families. But situations changed after 1988. One of my brother fled to New Zealand, so me in Japan, and also another one in France. So we cannot reunite again such before. But at the same time, in 25 years, I lost my parents, so I cannot go back to Burma.
The photo, this is your parents?
Yeah, this is my father and mother. This is a real sad thing. But I didn't regret because we have fighting for struggle for 25 years. Now our country have a little bit chance to change, and so I can. I have some experience in Japan, and I can contribute to build a new country, not only in education but also in politics.
Well, naturally, you sound, and I assume many of your colleagues or friends would sound very upbeat of the idea to going back home, but still, aren't there any concerns?
Yes. So we have struggled for so many years. It means that we are working for the future. We also intend to work, not only me, but also with other friends and colleges in US and Europe. So we can, if we have a chance to go back, we can rebuild our new country. It is not easy task. Because one of the biggest problem is the constitution. The current constitution cannot grant it Burma to become a democratic one. So Aung San Suu Kyi also mentioned about it. So I think all of the people of Burma have to participate in changing changing the constitution. So it's not an easy task, but we must overcome.
Cho So, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.